Yes, this is like one of the weapons the Inca priest used in the Temple of the Sun to torture the voodoo puppets. Prisoners of the Sun is the direct continuation of the story from the Seven Crystal Balls. It was written and conceived as one continuous story, so let's get right into the action. Calculus's kidnappers have arrived in Peru. The absent-minded professor apparently committed blasphemy in their eyes for putting on the bracelet of the mummy of Ras Carcapac. With the help of the Indian boy Zorino, Tintin and Haddock follow the kidnappers to the Andes, to the last hideout of the Incas, the Temple of the Sun. The occult that was a big part in the first volume of the story takes a backseat here for a long time again. Prisoners of the Sun is mainly an adventure story and tells how Haddock and Tintin get to the Temple of the Sun and what they experience there. The climax of the story that Hergé got from a tale about Christopher Columbus was not one he favored, and that was for two good reasons. First, the event that Tintin takes advantage of is taking far too long for a surprise effect. Second, what was the name of the place again where the brave adventurers are at the end of the story? Temple of the... Right. And one can actually assume that priests of such a temple know very well about this special event. Well, Hergé let the story end like this anyway, and it didn't do much harm. And again, we have some comical moments in the story, from Thompson and Thompson, but also from Captain Haddock. Hergé is reusing a trick he introduced in the Seven Crystal Balls. After Haddock fell down some stairs, he appeared to be looking at the reader grumpily as he wanted to say, "Hey, don't you laugh." In Prisoners of the Sun, this is driven even further. Haddock wants to demonstrate his fitness and jumps across a table. However, he does not quite make the jump and hits the table on the edge. The table flips over and a fruit bowl is catapulted up, and all the fruits are landing on Haddock's head. Here, Hergé breaks the famous fourth wall. The captain looks directly at the reader and asks, "Do you think that's funny?" The story had to be shortened a bit for the reworking as a comic book, but this is only noticeable if you look very closely, and it does not disturb the flow of the plot. Want to see an example? Well, when the two are separated briefly, Haddock finally meets a Tintin dressed as an Indian and does not recognize him on first sight. On page 12 of the comic book in the top row, Haddock addresses Tintin in the middle picture. "Tell me, my son, did you see a young white man with a small dog?" In the next panel, Tintin takes off his cap and says, "Yes, and I know him very well." Now, if you look closely, you can see that Haddock and Tintin are standing on the street in the middle panel. And in the next panel, they are suddenly standing on a piece of lawn in front of the house that was previously in the background. Here, a sequence of panels was removed by Hergé, in which Haddock takes some chalk and draws a picture of Tintin on the house wall. The story is speeding up as a result, but unfortunately, the readers of the comic books will never see Haddock's drawing talent. Prisoners of the Sun is a worthy finale for an exciting story that plays into Hergé's preference for American natives.